1, 2, 3.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah, here we go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah. Say hello to somebody around you. Hey, David. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. All right.
Good day. Aw, didgeridoo. Anyway, it's wonderful to be home. Am I on?
Oh, it's mute. Is it muted?
Woo! It's green. All right. I was a cheerleader. I could talk loud. All right. Hello. Anyway, it's great to be home. Oh, whoa. We had a wonderful time, and but there's no place like home. No place. Well, maybe New Zealand. I could move to New Zealand. It was wonderful. So many good-looking people there. Wow. Anyway, just saying, ladies. Just saying. Whoa. And it was cold, but it didn't feel cold. Anyway, let us go. Let's get spiritual. All right, let's say our mission statement together, please. We are a dynamic, open, and inclusive spiritual community, awakening you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. We are changing lives one heart at a time. So yes, we are. And so we took our hearts over to Australia and New Zealand, and we brought back some of that love back for you guys. So and Dr. Joe will share some of that with you too. So let's see what's going on this week. Oh, today we have, you probably saw some of those cutie pies out there, those cute little four-legged babies. Anyway, you might want it, Thanksgiving, you might want a Thanksgiving gift for yourself or for somebody. But they do need foster homes. The pet ministry, they're short on foster homes, and they're really short on food. Walmart usually donates a lot of food, and they haven't been donating as much. So they really would ask that if you could drop off some dog food to the office, or bring it next Sunday. That would be wonderful. And where's Reverend Ruth Ann? She's got a wonderful service coming up.
Good morning, everybody. Hi. I'm kind of the early bird here, so it's really nice to see some of you later in the morning, folks. And I want to invite you to something special this week. I know you're going to be filling your tummies on Thursday, but I want to fill your soul on Wednesday. Our Wednesday wisdom circle from 6:30 to 7:30 is going to be all about gratitude. And it's going to be heartwarming and soul-filling. And it's amazing the value and the spiritual principle behind gratitude that we're going to talk about. And then we're going to have time to share from that place of our hearts and how gratitude has touched our lives. Well, what happened? Anyway, 6:30 to 7:30, Wednesday evening in the Om Room. Please come.
Thank you. On December the 8th, Friday, and then on Saturday, December the 9th, Char Margolis is going to be here. Now, she's an internationally renowned intuitive and medium. And Friday, she's going to do like a group reading. But she's been on the Dr. Oz show, and she's been on TV. So we're really blessed to have her here. So you can get the tickets, pick up the tickets, and you can purchase your tickets in the office and sign up. There's a flyer out there with more information about exactly what she'll be doing. And what else? Because it's Thanksgiving, there will be no Alzheimer's support group on Wednesday. And also no Tai Chi, obviously, on Friday. So those will be closed. And then Thursday, we have our wonderful Rainbow Alliance always puts this on, and we have a potluck, Thanksgiving potluck. So if you don't have any place to go, or you just want to bring your family and bring your food here and share it because you don't want to, it'll be a family type thing here. They do it, and they do it out there. I believe the church supplies usually the turkey and ham and so forth, and you guys bring sides. But please go over to the Rainbow Alliance and sign up for that, because Thursday's Thanksgiving. I didn't even realize it was Thanksgiving. Called my son last week, and I said, "Oh, I miss you guys. I can't wait to see the baby." And he said, "Well, Mom, you'll see her next week." And I go, "Oh, you're coming to the desert?" And he goes, "No, remember, it's Thanksgiving. We're going to Aunt Tracy's." I go, "Oh, my God, I didn't realize." So this month is zooming by, and it's so wonderful to see you all back, and you're in for a treat today for the music. We have our renowned world-traveling musical artist with the fabulous hair and the fabulous voice, a practitioner wherever he goes, Mr. Austin Ray.
Thank you. It's wonderful sometimes when you can reach a point of having literary enlightenment. And what I mean by that is you can hear poems, you can hear movies, you can hear songs, things that you've heard a million times over, and yet suddenly you hear them in a new and deeper way. In this next song, "You Are the Blackbird." Most people, when you say Mother Mary, they immediately have some picture of the Madonna with mother and child. But you, because you're enlightened, you think creative spirit. Blackbirds singing in the dead of night, take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird, fly. Blackbird, fly into the light of a dark black night. Myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comforts me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she She is standing right in front of me, speaking words of a wisdom. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. There will be an answer. Let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of a wisdom, let it be. Oh, God won't let me down. No, it won't let me down. God won't let me down. No, it won't let me down. Nobody ever loved me like God does. Oh, it does. Oh, yes, it does. And if somebody loved me like God does, oh, it does. Don't you know it does? Hey Jude, refrain, don't carry the world upon your shoulder. For don't you know that it's a fool who plays it cool by making the world a little colder. Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her under your skin, then you'll begin to make it better. Nice and soft, boys, here we go. Na, na, na. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey Jude, singers, would you sing with me, please? Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey Jude, everybody now, please sing with me. Na 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 na. Let me hear you. Come on, let me hear you sing it. I want to hear you. Na, 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 na. Yeah, na, 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 na. See, this is like praying. Forget the words, just feel the emotion. Feel it. Na, 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 na. These guys are fantastic. Keep it going for this band. Thank you so much, you guys.
Great
Wonderful.
job, Austin.
Thank you.
You missed what I had going on in the background.
Oh, yeah?
I had my app on that had a candle, and I'm like this. We should all gotten our cell phones out. Good morning. How do you follow that? Wow. It's good to be back. Yay. Had a great week. Great 2 weeks. All right, so let's go to work, though. What do you think? All right, let's close our eyes, take a deep breath in. One more time, deep breath in. Before I left for vacation, or for the pilgrimage that we were on, I decided that I would surrender control. Hard for me to do. Surrender expectations. Surrender myself to something greater that knew exactly what to do so I could experience the very best that I was meant to experience while we were on that little pilgrimage several thousand miles away. And what I realized is the process of surrendering allowed me to experience so much more because I didn't have to control. I didn't have to figure things out. I just had to show up and allow myself to be divinely guided for what was the highest expression. So I ask you, what in your life would you like to step aside and surrender and allow divine guidance to take you on the pathway to your dreams and your success? Many times it's just a question of control. When we talk about surrender, again, I'm not talking about making you right or the other person right, you wrong, the other person wrong. I'm simply saying that when you release yourself into that greater flow, something wonderful happens. So take a deep breath in. All to Spirit I surrender. All to Thee I freely give. I will always love and trust You. In Your presence daily live. All to Spirit I surrender. All that's good is wholly mine. In Your presence, in this oneness, through You I am power divine, and I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit, I surrender all.
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living. Palm Desert, welcome to today. Welcome to this beautiful Sunday morning where the sky is so blue and the sun is so bright. It's a day just primed for engagement, our engagement. On this day, this one mind, this one life, this one energy, this energy, this connective force that binds each and every one of us to each and every one of us. Through its passion, through its love, through its light, that energy that binds each of us to one of us. That God is magnificent, that God is magnetic, that God is inclusive, that God is powerful. On this day, I am so connected to that one spirit, that one mind. I melt into the flow of its energy. I sink into this powerful gel called life. I'm at one with that divine spirit, and I am knowing if that is true for me, it is also true for you. I, Francine Ward, I speak my word for myself and each and every one of us on this Sunday morning, knowing that today is the first day of the rest of our lives. Today is a day we get to step into engagement. We get to show up for our lives. Today I engage. Today I am an active participant in the creation of my own life. I am an active participant in the unfolding in the life that's before me. I engage. And I am knowing if that's available to me, it is absolutely available to you. Today we're not bystanders. Today we are not passengers idly standing back, looking, thinking, judging, hoping. Today we are actively engaged in the unfoldment of our lives. Today we get to choose. We get to choose what we want to do, where we want to go, how we want to be on this day. It's a day that unfolds as we are actively participating in life. Today I dance, I sing, I laugh, I love, I pray, I serve. I am an active participant in the creation of my own life. And I am knowing if that's available to me, it's available to you. On this day, I give thanks for the knowing that I'm not a victim, that I am engaged in my life. On this day, I give thanks for the knowing that there are no victims here. We each are engaged in a process of development that is so sweet, that is so beautiful. It's like a piece of clay that we get to just carve and shape and design. I give thanks for knowing that for you, and I give thanks for knowing that the possibility is available to me. I give thanks for each and every person who's come here this morning to prepare this sweet table. The ushers, the concierge, the audiovisual, and the musicians. I love their music. I give thanks for the ability to hear and appreciate their music. And oh, that Austin. I give thanks for his powerful, passionate presence. Powerful presence. The melody coming from his lips to our ears. I give thanks for the ability to hear and appreciate each and every note. I give thanks for the practitioners that hold up this container called Center for Spiritual Living Palm Desert, and each and every minister. And I know that today Reverend Joe's message is good, and it is very good. And so with love in my heart and gratitude in my spirit, I release my word into the law of mind, knowing that it is done. And if any part of that resonates within your heart, not your mind, but your heart, I invite you to join in with me and say, and so it is.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wake in this holy silence. I hear all that has never been said, and right here in this holy silence we find God when we find ourselves. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So we awake in this holy silence. We hear all that needs to be said, and right here in this holy silence we find God when we find ourselves. And I find God when I find myself. And you find God when you find yourself. Take a deep breath in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Please join me, everyone. The lyrics are on the front. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul.
He was driving home one evening in his beat-up Pontiac when an old lady flagged him down. Her Mercedes had a flat. He could see that she was frightened, standing out there in the snow. And so he said, "I'm here to help you, ma'am. And by the way, my name's Joe." She said, "I'm from St. Louis, and I'm only passing through. There must have been 100 cars gone by. This is awful nice of you." When he'd fixed the tire, closed the trunk, about to drive away, she said, "How much do I owe you?" Here's what he had to say. "Well, darling, you don't owe me a thing, 'cause I've been there too. Someone once helped me out just the way I'm helping you. If you really want to pay me back, here's what you do. Don't let the chain of love end with you." Well, a few miles down the road, that lady came to a small cafe. She went in to get a bite to eat and then just be on her way. But she couldn't help but notice how that waitress smiled so sweet. God, she must have been 8 months along. She looked dead on her feet. Now he didn't know her story, and he probably never will. But when that waitress went to get her change from a $100 bill, the lady slipped right out the door and on a napkin left a note. There were tears in that waitress' eyes when she read what she wrote. "Oh, honey, you don't owe me a thing, 'cause I've been there too. And someone once helped me out just the way I'm helping you. Now if you really want to pay me back, well, here's what you do. Don't let the chain of love end with you. Well, that night when she got home from work, the waitress climbed into bed. She was thinking about the money and what that sweet, sweet lady's note had said. Her husband lay there sleeping, so she whispered soft and low, everything is gonna be all right, and I love you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Austin Ray.
Thank you.
So good to have you back. So good morning. Are there any grateful people here this morning? That was pretty like half. Let me ask the question again. Are there any grateful people here this morning? All right, that's what it's supposed to sound like. So my name is Paul Heater. I am the member and donor relations director here, and we've been working with our Reignite campaign this fall, and we'll finish that campaign up next week, so we're almost there. Wanted to show a testimonial this morning, a gratitude testimonial from someone who's been here a very long time and been part of Science of Mind a long time. And there's probably no coincidence, Ernest Holmes says there are no coincidences, that his life has been successful, prosperous, abundant, happy, and even to this day, he feels those things. So let me share with you a little video here.
As we receive, we need to give. That's an energy that needs to circle and self-perpetuate. So I got so much from religious science, center spiritual living philosophy, that it's changed my life and made me who I am today. How many years have I been a member? Here in this center, I've been a member since 2010, active member. But I attended the church since 2002. My wife and I did, but we actually started with the original church, Science of Mind, in 1960-something. So I've been going to some type of religious science of mind, whatever you want to call it, since then. Oh my, how did this impact and change? I wouldn't be who I am today without it. I was searching, looking. A friend of my wife said, why don't you go to this church? I went and I said to my wife, I said, that's it, we don't need to look anymore. I found home. And today, when I have a problem, what I usually do is to say, hello God, guess who's here? It's Ed again. Are you in? Is the office open? And we talk, and I get answers. And that's the thing, 24/7. He's the peace I didn't have. I was the youngest in the family. My brothers were actually married and had left home when I came along. So he kind of comes in and he's like a brother, a younger, and what he did for me when my wife was dying at home, he came one Saturday morning, sat with me, sat with her, came back, sat with me, sat with her again, came back, and left, and she died the next day. And makes me emotional because it was like he came and helped her release. And for that, whatever he needs, if I can do it, I will.
That's Mr. Banks. Mr. Banks, are you here this morning? Not sure if he's here this morning. He'll be signing autographs out in front afterwards, if you'd like to see him. Unsolicited, of course. So, out of the people that are here this morning, how many of you are actual members? All right. So keep your hands up. Here's the gig. Have you turned in your committed giving card?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes? 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 All right, where's the nose? Where's the nose?
No, I have.
No. Okay. Earlier, yeah, there's a couple out there. So here's the gig. So the reason why we're doing this Reignite campaign and why it's so important, we've had all these different little programs we've done over the last couple of years, right? So we've kind of gotten lost in the whole translation of what really is your giving and what is your commitment. So we need as close to 100% participation as possible, and I've got about a quarter of you right now. What would happen if you walked in here on Sunday morning, the band wasn't up there? How would that feel? The only way that we can plan a 2018 budget, New Year, New Year is what we're calling it, is to know what our committed giving is. So these are really important. This keeps my job, and it'll keep Joe's job too, and Reverend Laura's. And you start looking at how important this is and what it means to us. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but this is really an extraordinary opportunity. We have so many amazing things going on. I will be out in front, and we'll have somebody in the back also handing out additional cards. If you didn't get one, would like another, be happy to provide that for you. And this is really how we are able to touch you spiritually, how we are able to pass that on to others, and we really do believe that we are changing hearts one life at a time. We really do believe in that. So I would love to see all these come in. We have one more week next week, so let's do it with a big bang. Yes? Yeah. Grateful people still? Again, grateful people? All right, there you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul. I love you, Edward. And it was an honor to be with your wife and to help her move past that process. So thank you. That was really wonderful. All right, so we've been talking about, if you look at the front of your program for this month, we've been talking about prosperity and abundance. And we're going to continue that, and we're going to talk about it in the context of how could we move it into thanksgiving and gratitude. So today we're going to talk about the grateful heart. So I have a lot to share with you, and I'm going to talk kind of fast because we're running a little late, but I'm going to keep you over class. All right, here we go. We don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it. Everything is borrowed. We may think we own something here. Can we turn the ceiling fans off? Even I'm cold. That never happens. Thank you. We don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it. Everything that we have in our universe, our physical universe is borrowed. Think about it. You can't take it with you, right? So everything is borrowed. It was really interesting. When we went to our other countries and to Australia and New Zealand, we were able to talk to some of the original Aboriginal people and their belief systems, and we were able to talk to other people about their spiritual belief systems. And you know what was amazing? There's this common thread that we have with everyone. There's this common thread. Now, we may have a lot of differences, but we have some common threads that go through every single philosophy. And because of that, when we recognize that oneness, we realize that it's not just our United States or our religion, but it's actually a world that there's this common thread that's working through everything. And so we can be grateful for one another. I don't care what you call it. You can call it Jesus or Buddha or Baha'u'llah or Allah or spirit or universe or divine mind, whatever you call it. It doesn't matter what we call it. Let's just recognize and be grateful for the fact that we're just here borrowing this whole experience from something greater, and that there is a common thread with all people. We don't have to separate ourselves because of our differences. Let's allow ourselves to see the similarities that we have with one another. If we are the sum total of our thoughts, then every thought should begin and end in gratitude. Think about that. If we are the sum total of our thoughts, if all thoughts become things, if I'm grateful going into my day, going into an experience, going into life, period, then I'm going to be grateful going out. Why? Because whatever you create in consciousness at first manifests into your reality, right? Are you with me? Are we there? Okay, good. So if we're the sum total of our thoughts, let's begin this day. Let's begin this moment in gratitude, being grateful for what we have. You know, it's Thanksgiving, so I always do my, what does it take to get a bean to your table? You remember, you've heard me talk about that before, right? What does it take to get one green bean to your Thanksgiving table? Do you know how many hundreds of people are involved in one green bean? Just one. It's not just the farmer, because the farmer has to use a tractor or whatever to till the land. So how many people does it take to build a tractor? You know, they added to your bean. However many people worked the assembly line to get that tractor. Now, the tractor had to be transported to the farm. So how many people did it take to create the truck, to lay the highways down, to create the signs so that we don't kill each other on the roads, to create all this? That's just to get the bean to the farmer. To get the equipment. Now we have to actually plant the bean. We have to till the soil. You have to harvest it. Then you have a whole group of people in the grocery store to bring it forward to you, the processing. Hundreds of people, one bean. And we sit down and look at that bean and go, I think they were better last year. They had more bacon. You know? But let's be grateful for just the fact that it takes literally hundreds of people to make your life today. Not just the bean, but the very clothes you wear. Let's be grateful. If we are grateful going in for all the things that we have, and my beloved Dr. Tom used to say, I'm grateful for all the things I have, and I'm also grateful for the things I don't have. Because there's a lot of things I'm glad I don't have in my life. And people. And physical situations. And think about it. There's a lot to be grateful for. There's a lot that I'm grateful that I'm not experiencing. If every thought begins and ends in gratitude, let's make sure we do that. How are you showing up with gratitude in your daily life? There's several ways we do that. We do the traditional gratitude. If I give you a gift, what do you say? That's traditional gratitude. That's just traditional. Gift, thank you. Then there's the unexpected gratitude. Oh my God, thank you, right? Bigger than just the expected. It's unexpected gratitude. And then we have the dodge the bullet gratitude. I'm so glad and grateful that didn't happen to me. Right? So glad I dodged the bullet. But then there's also the expected gratitude. And I want to talk about expected gratitude. Because if I go in with the expectation that I'm going to have something to be grateful for in this day, what am I going to choreograph, or what is Spirit going to co-create by means of me? A day that I will at the end be grateful for. Because what I put in consciousness, I return, right? So if I have an expectation that I'm going to be grateful, then I have an expectation that the universe is going to conspire to create my good for me. Does that make sense? This was, I'm ahead of myself. A grateful heart sets the foundation that leads to a consciousness of prosperity. It is the beginning of the circle of giving and receiving. A grateful heart is what allows us to be in the flow of good. When one is feeling resentment or anger or scarcity or limitation or fear, that's not going to bring situations into your life to be grateful for. You're trying to concentrate on the fix. Stop concentrating on the fix. Concentrate on the spiritual laws. Does that make sense? There must be a conscious belief on the part of those seeking to demonstrate this principle that their faith and thought are but the avenues through which the law expresses itself to them. Dr. Holmes said this. Now, what does that mean? It says, stop looking at the fix and start using spiritual principles in the law, because if you do that, the fix will be an automatic response to you applying spiritual law. As long as you're looking for a fix, you're fixated on the problem. Don't fixate on the fix. Slow. I hear 1 week of vacation and you all just go fall asleep on me. Don't fixate on the fix. Thank you.
When you're fixating on the fix, you're not fixating on spiritual principle. You're just trying to fix what's already broken that the spiritual law created for you because you didn't know how to use it to begin with. Whatever. Some persons, realizing the importance of the grateful heart, begin looking for things for which they give thanks. However, they mistakenly start with the perspective of inadequacy and insufficiency, and thus they simply become more conscious of their limitations. Yeah, some people in the search for gratefulness go like this. Yeah, I had to grateful before. I'm grateful for this, but you know what? I really wish I had this going on. I really wish that this wasn't happening in my world. So what have you done? You're not filling up the gratitude bucket. You're on the wish list again. Two different things. The grateful heart, the grateful heart comes from a space where you're not worried about the limitations and the things that are wrong with your life. You're just literally, gratitude grows the garden, growing the great things in your world. Does that make sense? You do not need something to be grateful for. You only need the desire to feel grateful. Plato said this, when you feel grateful, you become great and eventually attract great things. Ooh, I like that. When you're grateful, when you are grateful for the things you have and the things you don't have, when you're grateful, you become great. And through the law of attraction, what will you attract into your experience? More things to be grateful for and great around. Doesn't that make sense? But when we forget, when we take for granted that things are just the way they are and we don't pay attention to it, I love my example. I use this all the time. I don't ever pay attention to my big toe until I cut the nail too close. And then I'm reminded all the time of my big toe because I did something wrong, right? And then I'm not grateful. So I think about it and I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait till this heals up. And you're walking around like this. And then one day you miraculously wake up and you don't feel it anymore. And you go, don't feel it anymore. And guess what? You don't give it a second thought again after that until you do it again. What's missing? Grateful for all, I want you to be right now grateful for all the systems that are working in your body. Don't tell me about the ones that aren't, because we all have lists. So Metamucil is for when you travel. So plain and simple, we can make a list of things that aren't working, but let's be grateful for all the systems in your body that are working perfectly. Okay? Become a gratitude magnet. Gratitude creates a true spiritual family of loving support, compassion, and respect. It draws one toward another, creating a true brotherhood and sisterhood of humanity. If I'm a gratitude magnet, what does that mean? That's what's happening in my life. That means I have a lot of things to be grateful for because I'm attracting them. Think of yourself as a gratitude magnet this Thanksgiving. Instead of debating with your aunt and uncle over politics and religion, which you shouldn't bring up anyway at a Thanksgiving dinner, just be grateful, right? Think of yourself as a gratitude magnet. I'm bringing in experiences to be grateful for. Even though on the outside you may have the appearances of things that you're not happy about, think of yourself as the magnet still attracting them into your experience. Yes? Praise yourself from weakness to strength, from ignorance to intelligence, from poverty to abundance. Praise grows everything. No one has ever changed because you got down and criticized them. That doesn't change your people's behavior. That just makes them not want to talk to you, right? Man, to avoid you. But what grows things is praising it. So praise yourself from weakness to strength and see yourself praising the strength you do have. I may not have everything that I'd like to have, but I have something, right? I was doing that on the second to last day. We were in New Zealand, which is an amazing country.
as we were climbing up this, I went on a 4-mile hike. You people know how much I love hiking. And my big fear about falling and slipping and all that, right? I mean, I was on a 4-mile hike, of which the first mile was straight up, I swear to God. But I sat there huffing and puffing. And all I kept thinking was, you have good legs, you're strong, keep going. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this. I was praising my body and the strength that I did have, even though I was struggling for oxygen. I kept telling myself, we can do this. We can do this. I can do this. I can do this. What is it that you need that you're struggling with where you can say, I can do this? And praise what is working, and praise, don't think about what's not. Praise what is working and change the dynamic and the chemistry around it. The infinite is always trying to create itself. Gratitude is a causative energy. So I need you to switch this, because many times you give a gift, people, I give you a gift, what do you say? Thank you. We think that's the end. No. See, we need to reverse this. This is a 180. Whatever you're grateful for creates energy to create something else. Gratitude is a causative energy, not an effect. We always use it as an effect. I'm grateful, period. Next subject, right? No. I'm grateful, and there are other things that the universe is ready to provide for me so I can be even more grateful. Not greedy, grateful. Are we getting it? So stop looking at gratitude as the end of the conversation. Look at gratitude as being the beginning of what's going to happen next. Yeah? Next thing. When we consciously and deliberately express gratitude, regardless of how things look on the outside, something miraculous happens. Our circle of love expands. People and other gratitude-worthy experiences begin to appear in our life. So we were on a boat in a Milford Sound, which is it's a beautiful area, kind of like Alaska, but on steroids. And it was a beautiful day. They said they had 9 inches of snow the week before, and it was 70 and sunny. Beautiful the whole time. And people are like, this is unheard of. This weather is unheard of. I'm like, no, it's not. We're traveling. It's science of mind. Of course it's going to be perfect. So we get on this little boat. There's about 60 people. We travel into this little, this sound, this Milford Sound, and they say, sometimes we can see certain animals. It's rare, but sometimes we'll see them. I'm like, no, we're going to see every one of them. So list them what they are. Sometimes you can see a whale. Okay. Sometimes dolphins. Okay. Sometimes seals. Okay. Sometimes penguins. Penguins. Not in a zoo or SeaWorld. This will be cool. And so I kept telling, as soon as Chris is right here, Chris would say, Dr. Joe, you need to manifest a whale. Now, I don't want to take credit for everything, but in 10 minutes, what came off the bow of the boat? A big humpback whale, right? We need to see dolphins, Dr. Joe. Done. This beautiful dolphin and its little baby, about this big, right next to the boat. The guide said, this never happens. I'm like, you're traveling with us, man. This is... And then, the highlight. The penguins. We pulled our boat up to, I was as close as that camera from the penguins. 2 of them. We stared at them, they stared at us. We stared at them, they stared. And normally the guy said they never stand still. As soon as they see us, they jump in the water. They're like, and they'd look at each other. And of course, we're all in the boat going, film it. And they're 20 minutes we stared at those penguins. And the guide's like, the guide's taking pictures going, this never happens. I'm like, You can build things when you're grateful. And the power that you manifest is so incredible. Now, you could say that's coincidence, and maybe it was. But I'd like to think that consciousness created a wonderful experience, because what did I say at the very beginning of my service today? I surrendered control and said the highest and best good will show up. I just need to spiritually show up. And it did in so many different ways. Just as financial prosperity serves no purpose if left unused, spiritual prosperity also needs to circulate if it is to grow and be of value. So it's not just about money that we circulate. It's about our spiritual knowledge and our wisdom. Spiritual knowledge and wisdom in your head is just spiritual knowledge and wisdom. It's not action. The action in and of itself, that is what we need to continue to circulate. It's not about giving it lip service. It's about actually doing. Francine said it in her beautiful prayer. It's about the actual doing of life, the actual experiencing and the action, not just the thinking about it, because anybody can do the thinking about it. It's the doing where we get that good. Have you ever heard of the word Godspeed, the phrase Godspeed? Godspeed is usually when people die, and we say Godspeed. We think somehow that quickens their experience into some afterlife in existence. But I want you to this Thanksgiving to think of it differently, because the word Godspeed comes from, it's a Middle English phrase that was taken from a 3-word phrase, God speed you, spelled S-P-I-E-I-D, which actually meant God prosper you. It was a wish for the soul to have a spiritually prosperous journey. So when you say Godspeed to someone, you're actually wishing them and knowing for them a spiritually prosperous journey. So this Thanksgiving, when you're, wanting to greet people or leave people, I want you to think about greeting them or leaving them with the knowing, not just wishing or hoping, but the knowing that they too are on a spiritually prosperous journey. It's something that we never say or rarely say, but I want it to be part of our vocabulary, especially this season, because there's so much going on in the world where we can make a difference, where every one of us can make a difference. If we just know that for someone else, imagine what we can do as a spiritual faith community, as what we can create with that energy. So I simply say to you this holiday season, Godspeed. Godspeed. So much to be grateful for. So many magnificent things to be created through the process of gratitude. Godspeed. And may we all continue, not start, may we all continue to have a spiritually prosperous journey. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thank you.
He didn't tell you about the skydiving.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Places to go. You got to hear this story. So the very last day, Mom, Janie, pay attention. So the very last day of the trip, we had our spiritual practice from 9 to 10. I didn't tell anybody, but my friend and I, we scheduled to go skydiving.
Oh, you told Elizabeth and me.
Well, I told Elizabeth, yeah, who prayed against it. And she won. But here's the story. So I am all ready to jump out of a plane in New Zealand. I'm thinking, oh my God, it's so pretty, it's gonna be beautiful. The fog was all in that day. And then suddenly during spiritual practices, guess what parted? The clouds. Of course. But I go to check in, they go, sir, you're over by 10 kilograms. You're too heavy to jump. And I'm like, damn gelato. So angry.
And 2 racks of lamb.
And 25 racks of lamb. And
and they said, well, there's another company that you can jump with because they have a different kind of credential. So, but the problem is we can't get you back in time for your flight home. So I pouted and moped.
He did.
For hours and hours and hours. And I'm like, okay, this is ruining the last part of my vacation. And I kept thinking, why? Why, universe? Why am I not supposed to jump? And the answer came between services. When this woman walked out and said, my grandson is a skydiving instructor, and I am gifting to you in Banning a jump. And you know what I thought? You know what I thought? Of course. Grateful for all the things that happen and some of the things that don't happen that eventually can happen, right? Anyway, so end your lesson. Thanks, everybody.
And Elizabeth was so grateful that he didn't jump. She was like sweating bullets. I said, he'll be fine, he'll be fine. But she's powerful too. So anyway, so now it is our time to show our gratitude for all that we have here at the center. So those of you that are live streaming, please hit the donation button, or you can also text, or you can text here too in the sanctuary your offering. So let us say our offertory prayer together, please. I give my offering with gratitude as I recognize the demonstration of Spirit's generosity in all areas of my life. I release and I let go. I let
My spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. All right, and I'd like to express my gratitude for Dale for taking such good care of you last week, and William. And I heard I might be out of a job. They're doing did such a great job. So I want to thank you for that, for holding the fort down for us. So let us hold up our hands and let's bless this offering. Let's say our prayer together, please. This collective offering is Spirit in action. As it circulates into the universe, it touches and blesses many lives, including my own. Thank you, Dale. Now, at this time, I'd like to welcome our visitors. If you're here for the first time, please stand up. Don't be bashful. We want to welcome you, and we have a gift for you. Oh, wow, you popped up right away. Wow, this is awesome. So welcome, welcome. We're giving you a CD holder
with information about our center and who we are. But please stop by the foyer table out here and get a CD of a couple of Dr. Joe's talks. And we welcome you. If you're visiting, enjoy your stay here. If you live here, come back. Make this your spiritual home. And over there in the Om room, this is our spiritual prayer team that's over there, and they'll pray with you. If you're going through anything, please stop over there and have a prayer. We have 1-minute miracles happen all the time. And we have some cute little critters coming in. Or it's our pet ministries here today with these cute little doggies. What a great Thanksgiving. Oh, oh, that's you, you little stinker. And she's got a bake sale, so please go over and support them. Look at, oh, they're so cute. Yeah. Don't forget they need foster homes and they need food. So please drop off your food at the office.
Aren't they cute? Those ones will eat your furniture up. I know. No, but take them because they'll do it in love. They'll love while they do that. We're going to close with a special thing that we haven't done in a really long time. So I'd like everyone to please stand, and if you would, please join hands with each other across the aisle. Just kind of step over, and everyone connect up. The world is kind of in a challenging spot, and the only way we're going to change that is for each one of us as individuals to begin to experience what we're about to sing about. So we do this often, but we don't do it connected to one another. And so what I'd like you to do, we're going to do the peace song on the way out today. And this is sort of a way to look at Thanksgiving and to be grateful for things and also to establish a sense of peace in our own consciousness so we can establish it in the world. So we sing it slowly here. For those of you here for the first time and you haven't heard us do this before, we sing it really slow, which for some people may be painfully slow. But I do that on purpose because it's so easy just to rattle the words off because we've heard it 1,000 times. But you can't really do that and have it mean something. So I want you to listen to the words and embody the words that we're about to sing. All right? So let's sing it together. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our power. With God as our power. United all are we. United all are we. Let us walk with each other. Let us walk with each other. In perfect harmony. In perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Godspeed, Godspeed, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone.